Hey, Battle Built here with another video, and today we're getting some more Ultra League Premier Cup Go Battle League battles. Alright, I'm really excited about this one. This is the first XL Pokemon they're going to be able to feature on the channel in some Ultra League Go Battle League battles, but now keep in mind, this is not a full level 50 XL Umbreon, and these are not my battles either. So shout out to Maverick, also known as Sean John, in my comment section for submitting this set. I included this first part because it's extremely important to notice where the Umbreon's hitting CP wise. It's a few levels over 40, and it's also only a 93 IV Umbreon, but I'm still excited to see how it performs in these Ultra League Premier Cup Go Battle League battles. In this first match, he's got a lead up against a Shadow Magnezone. Now, one thing is to keep in mind is if these battles are going well and this Umbreon looks tanky, that just means getting into level 50, it's going to have even more potential. So that's why I'm just really hyped that Sean John got me these battles as soon as he possibly could. It meant a lot that he submitted this set, and I'm really excited to watch through these because this is honestly looking like a pretty positive lead. Let's see how much. Oh, we're not going to find out how much a Wild Charge does the Umbreon quite yet. They're throwing a second one here. Going to let this one go through, so we'll probably find out right now. And honestly, considering again its CP and its level, that's not really a lot of damage. I was going to say, like, Umbreon's really tanky there, and that's a mirror shot. Umbreon's able to tank that great, counting on his end. Ends up building up to 2 foul plays here. Didn't want to get sparked down. This will take out the Magnezone here and leaves with a foul play's worth of energy and a tiny bit of health left on the Umbreon. If it was an even higher level, it would have had even more health there, but still was able to beat a Magnezone, a pretty meta Pokemon in some Ultra League Premier Cup battles. He's most likely gonna go into Toxicroak there? Okay, alright, this works out even better. I was gonna say most likely gonna go in the Clefable because of the Charmer on the fighter, but honestly did not want Toxicroak up against this Drifbloom, so this works out pretty well. He's got 2 hard counters for the Surfetch because Toxicroak does have good play against Surfetch. I just assumed, you know, Clefable is the better play. And now that his opponent came in with this Drifbloom, his Clefable has even better play there. Now, he decided to overfarm a lot. I probably would have recommended throwing the Charge move by now, just to try and force their last shield, because he's not going to be able to Charm down, or is he going to be able to? Oh, he was really close. That was quite the commitment. Unfortunately, doesn't get the shield, but should be fine against this Surfetch in the back, unless it's running Brave Bird, and that is becoming very popular. Now, the Surfetch should not get enough counters in at this point to get Brave Bird off. Ends up being a Night Slash. This Surfetch is probably running the typical moveset of Leaf Blade and Night Slash, but Brave Bird, especially because I know Zyonics just put out a video on it, is getting more and more popular, so you need to watch out for that big, hard-hitting flying move coming from Surfetch. But in this case, Leaf Blade and Night Slash were not enough. The opponent was probably boost hunting by throwing that first Night Slash, because honestly, if they went back-to-back Leaf Blades, they would have done enough damage to take out the Toxicroak, because both are single resisted by Toxicroak, and Leaf Blade just does more damage, neither of which were getting stabbed, but ends up clutching it out in the end. That Drifbloom in the back definitely was giving him some problems. Unfortunately, couldn't line up with the Umbreon, but again, an Umbreon feature, and Umbreon performed well. Getting into this next match, he's got Umbreon and Toxicroak. That's a lost lead. He save swaps into Toxicroak, and they save swap into Snorlax. That is quite the counter for a fighter. He's going to go for the big move of the Sludge Bomb. A lot of Snorlaxes, a lot of trainers that use Snorlax love how bulky their Snorlaxes are, so they don't shield the first charge move. So great recognition by Sean John on that one, and it's going to commit to a counter down the Snorlax. Win switchback, which is huge, because definitely does not want Toxicroak on Umbreon, definitely wants it on the Clefable, and the opponent is coming in back in with their own Toxicroak. So he's going to be able to throw this Mud Bomb, which will deal super effective damage, gets his opponent's first shield, just falls short of that next Mud Bomb, but it's okay, because now he can bring Clefable here, and if he's worried about a Sludge Bomb, he has shield advantage, so it's cool for him to shield it. The question becomes, what is his opponent's last Pokemon, and is Umbreon going to be able to handle it here? We shall find out. They go for the big move right away. Heath shields it, calls a big move. Great play by Sean John there. They're coming through with another charge move. Honestly, Toxicroak overfarmed quite a bit. I was going to shield too. I was going to say that had to have been a Sludge Bomb. Calls it really well. They then safe swap into Lapras, or not safe swap. They just swap into Lapras, and he throws his big move of Psychic, gets the Lapras' last shield, and now let's see how the bulky on bulky Pokemon matchup goes here. Umbreon's going to be spamming these foul plays. Lapras is probably going to build up to the Skull Bash to raise their own defense to make this an even bulkier matchup. Let's see what's going to end up coming through, unless they're just not running Skull Bash. They threw the Surf there. Interesting play considering there's no shields. Honestly, I feel like even if you're running Surf Ice Beam, I'm pretty confident, somebody can correct me in the comment section, that Ice Beam is better DPE. Both get stabbed. I think just Ice Beam is a better move. Now they're going for another charge move here. This is going to end up being the Skull Bash. That was definitely a misplay by the opponent. Throw the Skull Bash immediately. You want to get your defense bulked up as quickly as possible. And his opponent decides to just quit there, and he takes a second match. Honestly, though, even if they made the right play there and Skull Bash first, I'm sure Umbreon would have kept that matchup close enough. And then they swapped out and cleared the buff regardless. So, it worked itself out, and he's 2-0 with Umbreon. Umbreon going head-to-head with a Lapras. And this is only a 2200 Umbreon. A Hundo Umbreon at level 50 maxes out around 2400. Ooh, is this an XL on XL? I can't tell. I don't know where Altaria maxes out at. But this is starting to look a little bit like Great League in this in these Go Battle League battles. I promise. These are Ultra matches. I promise. But Umbreon on Altaria. Let's see how this plays out. I can't tell based on the CP what level this Altaria could potentially be at. But they're definitely two Pokemon going back at it. I'm pretty confident in Great League. Umbreon just barely wins this matchup just because of the fact that it outpaces Altaria to the charge move so quickly. So the question becomes, how is this going to end up going in Ultra League? If that Altaria is not powered up, like, at all, and it's just a Hundo, this Umbreon should win it no problem. So he's going for the foul play here. His opponent decides to swap, which is why that energy appeared the way it did. And then he matches a Gyarados safe swap with the Clefable. That Altaria has got to be pretty low, if not almost dead. And this Clefable is going to wall this Gyarados really well. This is going to definitely be an Aqua Tail. Crunch would be resisted. And the Aqua Tail is just not doing enough. Probably going to commit to a Charm Down, even though they will get to another charge move here. This will be another Aqua Tail, but, oh, they're going to shield it. I was going to say the Clefable, I have no problem tanking that and surviving. But rather be safe than sorry, especially because, like... I was saying, especially because the Altaria doesn't want to come in against Clefable. I'm guessing they're running a team that's triple weak to Charm. Their opponent definitely needs to revisit that one. Okay, those are the first 3 matches of the set. Or 3 matches of the set in general. Because I definitely said 3 out of 5. Let's see what else we got here. He's trying to catch a snow run here. We got a brief intermission. I don't know if I'm going to cut this out. Hopefully we get into these next battles relatively soon. But his ELO rating is around 2300. I would have liked to have seen those losses, to be honest. But... these 3 first matches have been really good so far. And now we're going to get into a few more. So he's got an Umbreon on a Shadow Charizard lead. The question is, what moveset is the Shadow Charizard running? And it's running Dragon Breath. So that's quite impressive. But you can see the Umbreon's handling the Shadow damage Dragon Breaths from Charizard pretty well. Those foul plays, that did about a third of the Charizard's health. And with the Snarls, already have the Charizard in the yellow. They're shielding here. They call it Blast Burn. Great call. Honestly, I'm pretty confident. I feel like I'm saying that a lot this video. Umbreon would have definitely tanked that, though. But it would have had low health. And if you want to play out this matchup to win, definitely need to shield there. Will they be able to snarl down in time? Unfortunately not. Will this be another Blast Burn is the question. Will Umbreon tank it? Ends up being a Dragon Claw. So really huge call on that first Blast Burn that came through. Wins lead, loses shield advantage, but Umbreon has a bunch of energy, and these foul plays will be neutral damage going up against the Excavalier. So that does about a third of Excavalier's health, which is really solid considering, again, I want to stress enough, Umbreon's not fully maxed out, so its potential is limitless if it's doing this well in these situations. And now, what do you come into here? You got to come into Toxicroak here against the Excavalier. Can throw the neutral counters and also resist the counters coming through from the Excavalier. Shield this. It will be a super effective drill run, but should be able to counter down before the Excavalier gets to another charge move, and will have energy for the opponent's last Pokemon. The opponent's last Pokemon is a Shadow Dragonite. That was 5 charms. 5 charms to take down the Shadow Dragonite, and the Clefable finishes it off and absolutely wrecks it. So Umbreon winning lead there was pretty huge, because Toxicroak landing on the Shadow Dragonite would not have been a great situation, and he definitely didn't want Clefable on the Excavalier. So winning lead there, really big in pulling out that match, and Umbreon just tanking away in Ultra League. Okay, we got a 5th match here. So these aren't all in one set. I'm just so used to shoutcasting all battles in one set. This is totally cool. I'm excited to see Umbreon continue to go off. We got an Umbreon on Dragonite lead. That foul play did about a third of that Dragonite's health. So now the question is, how well will this Umbreon be able to tank a charge move from Dragonite? It's going to be an outrage. Great call, recognizing the overfarm and not letting it go through. I'm sure Umbreon would have survived that too, but probably would have survived it barely. Gets another foul play through, puts the Dragonite in the red, and just loses the CMP time. This charge move should only be a Dragon Claw. Umbreon will definitely be able to handle this no problem. Look at how little that did. Wow, I'm just so impressed. Unfortunately, CMP, so he undercharges it, and that still ends up taking out the Dragonite because of how weak defensively Dragonite is. Umbreon tanks some Shadow Machamp counters to get off. It resisted, but still another foul play, which does some nice chip damage to the Machamp. And winning lead, huge. This opponent's team is really weak to Charm also with that Dragonite and this Machamp combo. So that's great. Oh, this is already GG. Swaps into Toxicroak to match the Empoleon. I wouldn't be surprised if his opponent just quits. The opponent's deciding to stay in and play this out. They're going to be able to get a shield to get off a Hydro Cannon. But this Toxicroak should be able to counter down. Not a Hydro Cannon. This should be a Drill Peck, a super effective Drill Peck. That's what we want to throw here. And it's also like a tiny bit less energy from Empoleon. But should be able to counter down before the next charge move. Is able to. They're going to come back in with their Machamp. And honestly, Toxicroak still has a positive matchup up against Shadow Machamp also. So this is definitely GG's. It looks like, I was going to say, it looks like the Machamp's only win condition would be to try to counter down the Toxicroak and then throw a Rock Slide at the Clefable. But honestly, they weren't going to be able to. That Toxicroak is going to outpace it to the Mud Bomb regardless. They're going for a charge move here. It's going to be that Rock Slide, but doesn't do enough to the Clefable. Clefable charms down, and that is 5 wins pretty much in a row because he gave me the first 3 battles, or the last 3 battles, the last set that he won consecutively, and then we're getting right into the next set because we literally saw it. Oh, wow, what are the odds? He's going up against D-Theman. I know D-Theman. That's a local player of mine. He's a highly skilled trainer from my area. Mad shoutouts to my friend Danny. Let's see how he does against this XL Umbreon, because honestly, I had no idea that Sean faced him in this set. So I'm quite curious to see how this Obama Snow versus Umbreon matchup comes out. And Danny goes, or his opponent goes for the Energy Ball there. And Umbreon, what a beast. Only did a third of its health. That's a big move from Obama Snow. And he's almost at 2 foul plays. I'm going to get to the second one here. So now the question becomes, at this current level, is this Umbreon going to be able to beat the Abomasnow, or does it still need to be powered up a couple more times to win this out? This feels like it'll be another Energy Ball. Based on how much damage the first one did, Umbreon should hold on like it just did. And it looks like XL Umbreon at this CP is winning the no shield against the Abomasnow. So he gets his opponent's first shield there, will get to another charge move, but they CMP tie, gonna shield it because they can land their foul play and technically still win lead. The opponent's going to definitely have to shield this if they want to commit to lead and then powder snow down the Umbreon. They decide not to. And now Sean's opponent's going to come into an Ampharos here and get Volt Switch down, which is unfortunate. The Ampharos does have some energy here. Now the question becomes, which is the better play? Coming into Toxicroak with super effective Mud Bombs, or coming into Clefable, which would be handle the charge moves better from Ampharos? Comes in with Toxicroak. This ends up being a Thunder Punch, which does hurt, puts the Toxicroak at half health. And the Ampharos was already at another charge move, but gets off this Mud Bomb, and it's going to threaten the Ampharos' shield. Doesn't get the shield, and the Ampharos gets into another charge move. Ampharos holds on, because Ampharos is a tanky boy, and decides, swaps into Galea. This is GG. I was surprised that worked out, considering he gave up shield advantage the way that he did. But Clefable will tank these charge moves, no problem. Take out the Glade, and then the Ampharos will come back in and get charmed down also. Really good plays, recognizing the situation and committing the shield to the Toxicroak when he needed to, and still putting in the damage against the Ampharos and pulling out this match. So that's 5 in a row. Let's go for 6. I don't even know how many matches are in this set. But you know what? I have a new way of recording, and the way that I'm recording just kind of, I'm doing this all in one take essentially. So I do apologize for any mess ups, but I feel like because I realize I'm doing all this in one take at the moment, it's put a little bit less pressure on me, because I feel like whenever I record the old way I was recording, there were so many times I'd make mistakes and would need to go back and cut it and then redo, cut and redo. Whereas in these one takes, I'm like, you know what, if I mess up, I'm just going to try and correct myself, and if I stutter, we move on. Just like we're going to get to this next match. So Umbreon on Swampert lead here. Let's see how this plays out. They seem to be playing the no shields. The first Hydro Cannon really didn't do that much damage. The second, Umbreon, I'm thoroughly impressed. I really want to see how much better a level 50 Umbreon Hundo at like 24-16 is, because this Umbreon, even at 22-35, is winning the no shield up against this Swampert. Forces a Swampert shield, gonna get farmed down, which is unfortunate. And whenever he comes in with probably a Clefable, is gonna need the shield regardless, even if it's a Sludge Wave or a Hydro Cannon. Comes in with the Toxicroak, so definitely needs to shield this. But the issue with coming in with Toxicroak is Swampert got some extra energy. Oh, I thought the Swampert would have gotten to another move. Apparently those counters were doing a ton of damage. I mean, not apparently, obviously. Builds up to a Sludge Bomb. He's going to bait the Mud Bomb. This will be resisted. Does get the opponent's last shield, which is big because now he can shield whatever charge move this is going to be. Should be a Dragon Claw. I don't think they'd go for the big move when Toxicroak was glassy and that was like a guaranteed shield. Get into another charge move here. This will definitely be another Dragon Claw coming through from the Charizard. And we'll get to the Sludge Bomb. Opponent doesn't swap out. This will take out the Charizard's remaining health. So this all falls on the last Pokemon. Oh, again, Charizard just barely hang on, but still this is going to fall on, ooh, the last Pokemon on their teams. And unfortunately, it's going to be a Venusaur. He definitely wants to get to a Psychic here. Would definitely take out the Venusaur's remaining health, but this should be a Sludge Bomb, and this is going to be GG. Unfortunately, in match number 6. But you know what? It's taken like 6 or 7. This might be match number 7. I've lost track. But it's taken 7 matches for him to lose with Umbreon. And it's important to still include all these losses in here. And it wasn't like Umbreon held him back. Umbreon got shield advantage after that lead and played out its matchup very well. The back lines just did not line up nicely. Because honestly, you don't want Clefable on either Charizard or Venusaur. Toxicroak did relatively well against both of them. Mostly because the Toxicroak was going up against a Charizard with lack of shields. If there were multiple shields there, that wouldn't have been a good matchup for Toxicroak either. But getting into this match, we got Umbreon on a Shadow Dragonite lead here. And this is definitely a Dragon Claw. The question is, how well is Umbreon going to tank it? At a third of its health, after a bunch of Shadow Dragonite Dragon Breaths and a Dragon Claw. It's at a third health. Gets the Dragonite into the yellow at the same time that it gets into the yellow. And outpaces it to the next charge move. This foul play threatens a shield. Will probably shield the next charge move that comes through. Based on the way this is going, it looks like Umbreon will win the 1 shield. But because, again, it's not a fully level 50 Umbreon, it'll probably lose the 2 shield just from the pure Dragon Breath damage. Because they are starting to add up. So the question is, does the opponent want to commit to the 2 shield? And they do commit to the 2 shields. So now, they're going to definitely come in with Clefable. Charm down. They swap into Toxicroak. This is a Toxicroak. I'm not Toxicroak. They come in with Charizard. I was expecting him to swap based on the fact that Clefable doesn't like this matchup. This Charizard has Wing Attack or Air Slash. I have a hard time telling the difference, but call the Blast Burn. Going for this charge move here. It's a Psychic. Will take out the Charizard. Almost take out the Charizard. It was that low. I'm sorry. And then pulls off a swap. Takes the damage onto the Toxicroak. Probably was better off taking that Dragon Claw onto the Clefable, but still, not a bad situation. Toxicroak has a little bit of energy. The Dragonite comes in. It's going to get countered down because it's really low in health. And apparently that last Pokemon did not want to see a Toxicroak with a little bit of energy and the amount of health that it had because their opponent decided to quit. And that, I think, is going to be all of the battles in this set. And that was, what, a 4-1 after he won the last 3 matches of his last set? Maverick, thank you so much, aka Sean John, thank you so much for submitting this set with an XL Umbreon. I cannot wait. I have a Hundo Eevee that I'm definitely going to make into an Umbreon. I really need to get those XL candies because this is just like the beginning of the potential for XL Umbreon in Ultra League. And as more and more people get the resources to max out their own Hundo Umbreons, it's going to be a mainstay in both Ultra League and Ultra Premier Cup Go Battle League battles. So again, Sean John, thank you so much for the submission. I really enjoy watching these battles, and it makes me want to go and grind some Eevees and find my nearest Eevee nest so I can get all those XL candies and max out my own Hundo Umbreon. Now, on that note, please let me know what you thought of those battles, and let me know if you're hyped for Umbreon, because I am. But you might disagree with me. Maybe you don't think it has a place in the Ultra League meta. But after all those battles, I'm pretty confident it does. And on that note, I will see you guys in the next video.